Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, The Planted Carly Flower. I'm Carly, and today we are going to be talking about fertilizing our houseplants. I know it's a lot to think about, it's very daunting and tedious, but honestly there are so many ways to get fertilization done that everybody can pretty much find something that works for them in their busy and hectic lifestyle. So stick with me. Hit like and comment if you can, I really appreciate that. And let's go ahead and talk about fertilizing our houseplants.
I want to be there and baby dance the night away. I let my head down if I want. Don't you just get tired chasing fame and being pretty all the time?
Okay guys, so I know that fertilizing can seem a little, oh my god, I don't know when, I don't know how, I don't know how much, am I doing it too much, I don't want to burn my roots. I'm here to tell you it can be super simple, and is super simple or as complicated as you want to make it. Some people thrive on a more complicated routine. I kind of do. I like having the extra things to do to keep me busy. Some people are like, I'm busy enough, give me something easy. And I can do that for you too, girl or guy. Trust me, I'm here for you. So let's talk about fertilizing. There are several ways, like I said, and I'm going to go ahead and start talking about the several ways that you can fertilize here. One of the ways would be slow release. I'm going to go ahead and put a picture up here of some slow release fertilizer that I can recommend to you, and I'm going to let you know how to work with it in your everyday lives. So I would recommend slow release fertilizer for pretty much every substrate except for LECA. You can put slow release fertilizer in pond. You can put slow release fertilizer in cocoa husks. You can put slow release fertilizer in any soil mixture, or even non-soil mixture if you use something that's not soil derivative, and it'll work just great. The only reason I don't recommend it for LECA is very, like, I don't want to say large because it's not huge, but it's a medium-sized substrate, and anything smaller usually tends to fall to the bottom over time, and that doesn't do any good with a slow release fertilizer. You want it, you know, throughout the mixture. But you can put it in pond, that would be just fine. It would sit within the smaller rocky substrate of the pond. And basically what you do is you just mix it in, the instructions are right on the package, and it fertilizes your plants as you water slowly over, I think, a 6-month period. So you only have to worry about fertilizing every several months, and that is absolutely a time saver, right? Who thought fertilizing could be so easy? You're fertilizing when you water. It's super simple, super easy, and you don't have to worry about adding things to your watering jug. When did I last fertilize? Has it been 2-3 weeks? Has it been a month? Has it been a year? I don't remember. It's super simple for that hectic plant parent on the go. So that is a really, really great way to fertilize, and I highly recommend it if you are looking for something a little bit more passive in your plant chore scheme. Another way that you can fertilize is with a liquid fertilizer, which is my preferred method, honestly. Okay, but I do like having a little bit more of an involved fertilizing process. I like to control my fertilizer. I like to know how much each plant is getting, yada, yada, yada. So I use Harris fish fertilizer, organic fish fertilizer. I'll put a picture here. And I use Dynagrow foliage. I'll put that here. I also have recently been trying out liquid dirt. Again, liquid dirt. And I have thoughts on all of them, but the ultimate thought is they are all actually very good fertilizers. I love Dynagrow foliage. I don't know that I'll ever not use it. I use Dynagrow foliage in all of my non-organic, or inorganic, I guess you could say, substrates. That's my LECA, my pond, and my cocoa husks. I absolutely use Dynagrow for all of those. And it's super simple. It is a teaspoon. Yes, a teaspoon. I had to think for a minute. It is a teaspoon to a gallon of water. So when I get ready to fertilize, I put a teaspoon of Dynagrow in a gallon of water, and then I just use that gallon of water to water my plants and fill their reservoirs. It's really not difficult or that hard, and I do this every 2 weeks in the growing season, which is for me about, I'd say, April through September. I live in a very warm climate, so in September it's still in the 80s, 90s here. I might even do it all the way through October, just depending on how things are going. And I do it every 2 weeks, and I just put different parts of my house on a different refreshing schedule, and that's how I get it done. Now, I have a lot of plants. I have over 250 houseplants now. So fertilizing and taking care of my plants is typically an all-day thing. And then in between the days that I do massive fertilizing and refills and flushes, I do walk around every few days or so and just make sure that the reservoirs still have water in them. I do not fertilize at that time. I just top it off with fresh distilled water. So it's really not as daunting as it seems. I have a schedule that works for me, and it's super simple just to add that teaspoon into a gallon and water. So I highly recommend it. My Harris Fish fertilizer, I do tend to use that on all of my soil plants. It is a teaspoon to a gallon, same measurement, and then I just add it to my watering can and water my soil plants. I have been using liquid dirt more often, simply because it is faster, easier, and I'm seeing a very similar result without having to pull my fertilizer out of the cabinet and put it in the jug. I just add a little bit of already mixed liquid dirt into my watering tank or watering can. That's the word. And I water my plants. I'm going to insert some footage here of my liquid dirt setup and show you how I found it easiest to manage for me. Okay guys, this is my liquid dirt setup. As you can see, I need to fill it up. But I make my mix with my liquid dirt as according to the package. I do use package instructions. I don't deviate from them. And then I put my cap full in here and fill the rest up with distilled water. And then I can just come use this little spout to fill my watering can with a little bit. Then I fill the rest of it with distilled water. And then I go water my plants. I find it super cute, very easy. I don't have jugs of stuff everywhere, and I can just get it right from the spout there. Okay, so now you've seen my liquid dirt setup, and I know it's a little extra, but honestly, it really helps me out. I don't have jugs of mixed water all over my house. I am a very organized type of person. Cluttered chaos drives me nuts. So having a bunch of empty watering jugs or jugs full of mix all over the place really stresses me out and heightens my anxiety level. So having a cute little setup for it makes it so much more likely that I will continue to maintain it and use it. And that's just my personality and the solution that I've found for myself. I feel like it looks really cute in my plant room and I really enjoy it. So that's why I do it. It's definitely not a requirement, and liquid dirt is an absolutely great fertilizer. I would highly recommend that you try it out, and it does definitely complete all your planting needs. It's a full plant food. You don't have to add any additives, and it works out really well. Okay guys, another way to top off your fertilization is through additives. There is stuff called Joyful Dirt, and there's one that's Earth something. I will try and link them down below. Maybe put some pictures up if I can find pictures. But this is stuff that you sprinkle on the top of your soil and then just water as normal, and the water will drag the nutrients down to the roots, and you refresh that every 3-ish months, I believe. And that is yet another way that you can passively fertilize your plants and not have to worry about doing all the extra stuff that I just talked about. People with really hectic lifestyles tend to pick the soil topper or the slow release because it does take a lot of the day-to-day chore out of it, and you plants can still get everything they need out of it. Okay, so the next question is, how often do I fertilize? Well, a lot of that actually depends on your plants. This is a great time to look at the care of your plants, see what they prefer. Just do a quick Google search on your plant and see what others are saying about fertilizing that particular plant. But I will say in the growing season, you are typically safe to fertilize if you're not using slow release or the topper every 2 to 3 weeks. Some plants are much more slow in processing those nutrients and don't require as heavy of a feeding, and that would be more like cacti and succulent. Those are definitely a class of their own and very rarely, if ever, need fertilization. So I would definitely recommend you look up your specific cacti or succulent or your plant in general and make sure that you are fertilizing to its needs. I know it's also super tempting to put way more fertilizer into your water to get maybe even more growth out of it, but be careful with that as well. There's dilution requirements or suggestions on the containers for a reason. You will burn your roots if you give them too concentrated of a fertilizer. If you are worried about that, you could even fertilize more often and dilute it twice the size. If you're worried about that, you could even dilute your fertilizer even further and then just fertilize more often. It's really up to you. I haven't had any problems with anything that I've mentioned fertilizing or diluting per the package instructions. So no issues there. Now, something that is not a fertilizer but is more like a vitamin supplement for plants would be Super Thrive. I want to mention it here because it's not a fertilizer, but because it does have a very great place in that kind of an area. I use Super Thrive when I'm rooting plants, when I have plants recovering from root rot, or when I have plants in like moss or anything. I will add Super Thrive a little bit more often to the water I watered those plants with, just because it gives them a little boost and a little bit of nutrients rather than a gigantic heavy fertilizer. Like I said, this is mostly for rooting or rehabbing plants. Or propagating. I will put it in a propagation as well. If I'm rooting something in water, I will mix up some Super Thrive per the instructions on the bottle, and I will go ahead and give that Super Thrive water to my propagations. So I highly recommend looking into that. I've seen some great results with Super Thrive, and it's something that I can absolutely recommend to you. Okay guys, so that is all I have to say about fertilization. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment box down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, hit that notification bell, and join my family. I would love to have you around more often. If you're new, absolutely welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. I really thank you guys for sticking with me this long through this video, and I hope that you learned something interesting or of value to you, and I can't wait to see you guys at my next video. Thank you so much, and spend some time today with your plant babies. I appreciate every one of you for being here.